Hello, I'm Ira Cambell from the Coyote Valley Band, Pomo Indians. We're from over in Red River Valley area. And I've been here gathering a long time, all my life. My grandmother, grandfather, all those things. You know, first of all, I really want to say thanks for the Creator allowing everybody to make it here safely and ask Him to let us get home safely. And then again, I introduced myself, and I know none of you. Not none of you. Never heard a voice of any one of you. You know, so what would you have to say about what's going on? What are you taking? What are you trying to take from us? Is there something? Because I gather for the old, the handicapped, and the young, and the widows. Widows, man or woman. And people that work, this and that, when their kids say, you know, my parents have to work, they don't have time to gather, then they give it to them. It's theirs. That's my job as a traditional gatherer. And now, any one of you got lungs enough to dive down in the ocean? You know what your people are saying? Once we get a certain age, you can't walk on the beach because your arthritis or these things are all bothering you. You got no more lungs to dive. You know what that means, that sign? To hell with you. You're not entitled to these things no more. You can't gather for elders. You can't carry seaweed. You can't get abalone. You can't do any of these things in our traditional way. Now, I would get abalone for you. The thing you got to do is cut it back to 2 abalone. Let us get our seniors abalone and carry one apiece for them. Those kind of things, handicaps. You see, all those things have to be done. Provisions. Down south, you say, they used to scrape the rocks, hides with a scraper. Well, you've allowed the Koreans, or I don't even want to say names or races, but people scraping rocks and just no more seaweed because they take the roots and all those things away. Do you know these things? Are you really scientists? Or who are you guys? I really want to know. Can anybody answer? Who are you? I mean, what's going on? The governor's not here. Who's here to answer any of our questions?
I'd be happy to. And when everyone's done talking, I think we do want to make some comments and hear, but we're waiting to hear your comments. So,
all right.
I think there's 3 or 4 more, and I will try to address those. And I think the task force members would like that. So,
you know, we want to take over this whole area if we have to, and have Indian Rangers that'll do that same job that you're not doing, because this stuff with scraping the rocks and all these things wouldn't have been done if we would have Indian Rangers out there, which we're supposed to have. You want to close these beaches? Give them back to us. And in turn, we'll harvest these things in a proper way, where all your elders, handicaps in these senior citizens' homes would eat abalone once in a while and gather. You see, when they bombed Hiroshima and Nagasaki, they gave them a seaweed and water bread diet. You know what? They came out without effects of radiation and these things. You want to use computers? You better learn to eat some seaweed. But I mean, you do this righteously and allow our people to gather in the manner that they do without, you know, I'm down the coast and what they're doing, there's a white lady down there. Again, not to say racist. But who she got? She got 4 or 5 guys from down south, Indian kids, paying them $10 an hour to gather seaweed to take it to Berkeley for cosmetics. Stop these people, will you please? Oh.
Halito, my relatives. First of all, I'd like to apologize to those people that are from this area in the region. I'm a Choctaw, originally from Oklahoma. But I stood with you over 30 years ago on the Klamath River during the fishing rights. So today, it makes me feel good to see that once again that you have come together and stand together again to protect some basic rights, basic human rights, basic what I call natural rights, because this is very important, because what is going to be determining here, this body, will affect Native people, indigenous peoples across this country. Today, you're not alone. Many people are watching what's happening here today. And I would like to remind this task force that there is ways of dealing with this. One of this is through the protection, the Indian Religious Freedom Act. The other one is, some of you might not know, just recently, the United Nations passed a declaration called the Rights of Indigenous Peoples. And in that declaration, it spells out specifically what this government, what this state can do to help improve indigenous peoples. And I would like to remind you that we're talking about human rights. Food is a human right. So when you take away these basic rights, you're denying one of the basic principles within the human family, and that's the right to food. So today it's important to take all these aspects into consideration. And I also just want to again say that as a Choctaw, I'm a full-blood Choctaw, one of the very few people that are still what we would say living our way of life. But it makes me feel good and to be here and to voice my word, voice my solidarity and support once again for these people in this region that are standing up for their rights. And I ask you to do the right thing. Today, this gathering here is not a coincidence. Many of our ancestors, many of our people say, the spirit of the past will rise to claim the future. And that's what you're witnessing today. And so my relatives, I encourage you to continue to stand up, continue to do what it takes to protect your rights. Hope. Thank you.
Dilaha, Santai Stanakunasha, and
Dilaha, Shihushi Sinkotesna.
and we're Talawadani from Northern California up in Smith River. And I just wanted to come and say that I know that we've been working together to address this issue. And I know that as part of the policy and not really the science group, the science folks are asking for, numbers and what do you gather. And I found that really offensive because it's who we are to do that, and we don't really live by the numbers. The main law that we live by, and I think that's hard for other folks to understand, is you never take more than you need. And I think that's the only thing you guys, need to know is that we only take what we need. We never take more than that. And also right now I wanted to share with you that we are fishing for our traditional smelt camp. And we've never not done that since the beginning of time. And I had some folks walking down the beach, and they said, "Oh, we come down here for the last 30 years." And I said, "Oh, we've been coming down here for the last 8,000 years. Ow! I asked my council member what we should talk about, and she said, "You know what? I want you to sing a song." And I know that I've shared this song with you guys before, but I think that it's just so important for you to realize that this is who we are. This is how we're raised. This is how we live. And that this song comes out because it means what we do and how we are. And it talks about the slumps. It talks about them dipping the net, getting the fish, drying it out. And it talks about a whale that they saw in there and how magnificent it was. And so we'd like to take just a few seconds more to share this song again with you so that we can leave you in a good way and remember that this is how we are. This is who we are. Talawadini people, Indian people. And I also just wanted to say thank you to our relations for letting us come here to their land too. Lams chelen te la hen hunale. Lams chelen te la he hunale. Hey no, hey hey haya. Hey no, hey hey haya. Lams chelen te la he hunale. Lams chelen te la he hunale. Hey no, hey hey haya. Hey no, hey And I just wanted to end that the choices and decisions we make today affect our future generations, and that's why it's so powerful for us to be here and advocate, because it is our future generations that will continue our traditions, and they need to be able to eat what we eat and gather in a certain way. Thank you.